Evening, everybody. It's 5:50 on Monday, Marathon Day, Patriots Day here in Massachusetts. Um, and I didn't win the marathon, so I'm not even going to discuss it. Okay, so we had the Empire Manufacturing Index come in at up 10.8% versus the expectation of down 15. This is an incredibly erratic, up 25, down 6, down 28, up 4. So not really a lot of credence given to it, and it didn't help the market at the open either. And we also had NAHB Housing Index, which is one of those 50 is neutral, plus 50 is expanding, below 50 is contracting, came in at 45. So not great. What was great, though, is that a lot of these stocks that we talked about this morning really had substantial moves. STT, which is State Street, the people who bring you the spiders, and this morning it was 73.02, and that was down 7. It actually went lower. And closed the day at 72.68, down 735 or 9.2%. It got as low, unbelievable as it may seem, got as low as 65.62. So $7 lower than that. It was down 14 at one point. M&T Bank this morning was 120 and change, and it was up 365, having closed 116.59 the day before. It got down to as low as 114 and change, so down about a point and a half, but also, down from 120 pre-market. Then it rallied, turned around and rallied all the way up to close 125 and a half, up 8.91. Even Schwab, which was questionable as far as what we were going to see, this morning it was 51.77. It got all the way down to 49 and then turned and rallied and closed 52.68, up $1.87. So, some pretty substantial moves on these stocks that had earnings. After the close, we had earnings on Jbht, which is Jbht. It closed the day at 176.65, and that was basically unchanged, down 12 cents. Then in the aftermarket, got all the way down to 170.11, is currently trading 173.48, down 329 or 1.8%. So not much going on there. PCVX. This is a biotech, and we had biotech news early this morning. This one is Vaxcyte, Vaxcyte, and what Vaxcyte had was really strong phase 2 trial results for a pneumococcal drug. Pneumococcal goes to pneumococcal pneumonia, in some cases meningitis. It's part of the streptococcus virus, so really a problem. It was as high, it closed yesterday at 36.5. This morning it was as high as 44.74. However, at the close, which was 42.34, up almost 584, they announced an offering of stock with what are called pre-refunded warrants. And so, this is what happens with these little names, in that they get a success, the stock goes from, last week's low at 34. It goes up to this week's high of almost 45, and they do an offering. And that's clearly understandable. In late trading, it has traded all the way down to 39.97. Um, and that is the last 39.97, and that is still up 347. So it gave up $3, but it's going to raise a ton of money at a level that the stock hasn't seen, in a year. So actually, I have a lot of sympathy for that, or it pleases me. The Starship delayed at least 48 hours. The speculation is Mr. Musk wants to send it up on 420. Um, Taiwan Semiconductor reports it looks like they're going to cut capex spending fairly dramatically. And while the SOX index actually closed up on the day at 423.14, up a big 4 cents, but well off the low at 417. So was down $6, closed up 4 cents. But some of the manufacturers, equipment manufacturers, not so great. ASML, the biggest in the world, closed yesterday 66.20. Today traded down as low as 632. The last is 639 and change, down 26.62 or 4%. Likewise, LRCX, which is Lam Research, it closed at 500 spot 84 and traded down to 483, so down about 17. It rallied a bit and closed down only half that much, 492.13, down 871. Mrna, which this morning on their deal with Merck was trading 161 up 4 pre-market. In the real world, the high of the day in market hours was 156.75. So a solid almost $4 off where it was. It then traded all the way down to 144. The last there, let's just take a quick look. 492.13, down 871 or 1.75%. So not great. In the futures, we had all of the grains higher. In the energies, we had them all lower except for lowly nat gas up 16 cents. And at $2.11 yesterday's close, 16 cents is meaningful. The oil closed down $1.60 and pretty close to the low. On the range, well close to the low. The gold was down again today, 880, getting back into that support around 2000, got down to 1993 and then rallied up $14 from there for the close. Silver holding on to that 25 handle, was down to 24.92, closed 25.08, down 37, and copper was down about 4 cents. That one is, I'm very bullish on the copper, but it looks like it may be headed to the downside a little here. Bitcoin down 920 and below 30,000. Ethereum down only 12. Well, 12 is about 0.6%, while Bitcoin was down almost 3%. And the bonds closed down 31/32, so we'll call that a point. All right, everyone. Tomorrow we have housing starts and permits in the morning, but we also have Bank of America, BK, which is BlackRock, Blackstone. Let's take a quick look just to make sure. Pardon me, New York Bank, NY Mellon, BK. It was down today $1.87, but also closed $2.50 off the low. We have Goldman Sachs, Johnson & Johnson, Lockheed Martin, PLD. And after the close, we have Interactive Brokers, IBKR, ISRG, and the biggie, Netflix, as well as UAL and UCBI and WAL, which are both smaller regional banking institutions. I'll be back in the morning.